This short video is entitled Endowed by Our Creator with Unalienable Rights, the Only Legitimate Purpose of Civil Government. Well, Lawrence Reed, an author and thinker for the Foundation for Economic Freedom, says this well. The most profound political and philosophical trend of our time is about what government is supposed to do and what it's not supposed to do. Many people think that government exists to do anything for anybody anytime they ask for it. Government's actual role is simple: to protect freedom and liberty. Let's take a look at this diagram again. As we've seen, unalienable rights come from the creator of the universe, and we're endowed with them. They're forged in heaven's fire. The Declaration of Independence declares this, the Constitution protects this, and the Bill of Rights lists additional rights given to us by heaven. This was the unequivocal rights given by God list that we've taken a look at already. And so as we look at government's role, government's only role, only role is to protect those rights and to restrain any wickedness that would violate those rights. What am I talking about here? Well, the Bible actually does give an overall biblical purpose for government. There's two passages of Scripture where this question is clearly answered, in the book of 1 Peter and in the book of Romans 13. Let's take a look at these two short passages. In 1 Peter we read this: Governors who are sent by him, that is by God, to punish those who do wrong and to commend those who do right. The Romans passage: For rulers hold no terror for those who do right, but for those who do wrong. Do you want to be free from fear of the one in authority? Then do what is right, and he will commend you. So when we distill it down, the biblical purpose of government is simply this: to restrain evil and to encourage good. To restrain evil and to encourage good. Jacob Duché, the pastor that prayed at the First Continental Congress, that was the first meeting ever, all the 13 colonies and their representatives, and that God really showed up in that meeting, some months after that preached from his pulpit this sermon: the duty of standing fast in our spiritual and temporal, that is civil liberties. And he uses Galatians 5:1 as his passage. Stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Christ hath made us free. July 7th, 1775. In this sermon, he says this: All rulers are in fact the servants of the public, and appointed for no other purpose than to be a terror to evildoers and a praise to them that do well. Whenever this divine order is inverted, whenever these rulers abuse their sacred trust by unrighteous attempts to injure, oppress, and enslave those very persons for whom alone under God their power is derived, does not humanity, does not reason, does not Scripture call upon the man, the citizen, the Christian of a community to stand fast in that liberty wherewith Christ hath made them free? A good question indeed, men and women of God and of the Christian faith, to stand fast in that liberty wherewith Christ hath made them free. Will you stand fast and defend your liberty and the liberty of your children and the liberty of future generations? My name's Craig Seibert. Thanks for listening.